Hi guys, so we're going to go ahead and knock out our final video of this multiplication unit. Now, is this going to be a multiplication shortcut unit? Maybe, maybe not. Okay, so what we're going to do, we are going to combine everything that we did from the earlier videos to knock out these spicy problems. Okay, so fun problem number 8, so it's the first one of this video, but 8th one of the series, represents perform the indicated operation, which is code for do whatever the operation states. So if it's a plus, add, similar for subtraction, multiplication, and division. And then it says you are encouraged, meaning you don't have to, okay? But of course, we're gonna try, okay? You are encouraged to take a multiplication shortcut if possible, and you don't have to write the polynomials in descending order unless you really feel like it, okay? Let's go ahead and knock out this problem right here. So we have cube of 5x minus 1. It's like, wait, Torres, are we really gonna do it? We didn't talk about that. We had in the earlier video, we talked about, again, wrong information, we had talked about squaring binomials. We didn't talk about cubing binomials. Is there a multiplication shortcut for that? You know what, probably, but it's not worth it. It's gonna be better if we generally simplify it without having to remember a formula. Okay, so we're going to do it the first time around, we're going to do it the keep your cool way, and the second time around we're going to do it how the multiplication shortcut way. Okay, so if the exponent is 3, that means that we have 3 factors of the base. So we have 5x minus 1 times 5x minus 1 times 5x minus 1. Okay, so we have product of a bunch of binomials, but of course we cannot multiply them all at once simultaneously. How we say that word? Let's go ahead, group them. You can group the first two or the last two. It's a personal choice. I usually group the last two because it's easier on the eyes, but students like to group the first two because, you know, they multiply how they see them. So I'm going to give the people what they want. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to go ahead cover this one because it's in my way. Product of the first terms. Let me go ahead put FOIL. Okay, product of the first terms, 5x times itself will give us 25x squared. O, product of the outer terms, 5x times negative 1 will give us negative 5x. I, product of the inner terms, negative 1 times 5x will give us negative 5x. L, product of the last terms, negative 1 times itself will give us 1. Fantastic. Okay, let me go ahead and bring down the rest of the problem. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. Why? Because we're going to take this expression and, you guessed it, multiply it by the rest of this problem. So again, sometimes students make mistakes, not because they don't know what they're doing, it's just because they don't bring down the rest of the problem. It's like, if you don't bring it down, how are you going to remember? Okay, unless you have like this hyper memory, but why risk it? Let's go ahead, combine like terms. When we combine the middle terms, when we combine the like terms, namely the middle terms, the sum of the x's will give us negative 10x. Let's bring down the rest of the problem. Alright, so we got a 3-term expression multiplied by a 2-term expression. Are we going to FOIL it out? No. Okay, FOIL is only when you have product of 2 binomials. Not when you have something crazy like this. Now, how am I going to distribute this trinomial? You're just going to distribute one term at a time. Round 1, what do we get when we distribute the 25x squared? Round 2, what do we get when we distribute the negative 10x? Round 3, what do we get when we distribute the 1? Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. So we have round 1. Let's go ahead and distribute the 25x squared. Go ahead, grab your calculator. 25x squared times the first term that we see will give us 125 x cubed. 25x squared times the next thing we see will give us negative 25x squared. No more things to distribute to, so round 1 complete. Round 2, what do we get when we distribute the negative 10x? Negative 10x times the first thing we see will give us negative 50x squared. And again, we are trained to write across, but from the earlier video, I prefer to line it up if I'm going to have more than 4 terms. Okay, so but you do you. Okay, product. So this product, negative 10x times 5x will give us negative 50x squared. I'm going to go ahead and line it up for reasons that it makes it easier for me to combine. Keep moving forward. Next product in that round, negative 10x times negative 1 will give us positive 10x. We write straight across because there's nothing to line up nothing to line under. Round 3, what do we get when we distribute the 1? Let's do this. 1 times 5x will give us 5x. Line it up. 1 times negative 1, where am I, will give us a negative 1. Okay, so if you lined up the terms along the way, and if you have terms lined up, then that means you can simplify the expression. So let's do this. We only have 1 degree 3 term, or 1x to the third. Let's go ahead and bring it down. The sum of the squares will give us negative 75, because negative 25 minus 50 will give us negative 75. Tag along the variable. For the x's, 10x plus 5x will give us 15x. And then we only have one constant term. The question is, can we keep moving forward? Of course not. Okay, why not? Because if we were able to still combine, then we would have had more terms lined up. Okay, so we're gonna do this problem one more time on the test. I don't really care how you handle it. I just want you to get the right answer. But I want to show you like a different way to go about it. Okay, we're gonna do a semi-multiplication shortcut. Okay. The reason why I say semi is because unlike the other problems that we did from the earlier unit, pretend I didn't show my work. We can't just go straight to answer. Okay, we got to show some work. Okay, so let's do this. So I don't know how to quickly cube a binomial, but I do know how to quickly square a binomial. So we're going to rewrite this problem in terms of groups of 2. Okay, so we're going to write this as 5x minus 1 raised to the second power. So we got 2 factors of 5x minus 1, and we need 1 more to get to 3, multiplied by 1 more factor of x. Okay, so let's do this. So we are going to square this. Square of 5x minus 1. Cool. Now, in order for you to see how quickly we can do it, I really don't want to write down the formula, but I'm not going to assume that you have the other video fresh in your mind, so I'm going to write down the formula just once. Okay, so if we are squaring a binomial of the form a minus b, if this is your question, then this is your answer. A squared, 2ab, b squared. For the signs, same, always positive. Okay, so go ahead, continue highlighting my thinking area. Okay, so let's do this. So a is whatever you see before the operation. In this case, it's 5x. B is whatever you see after the operation. In this case, it's 1. So let's do this. And we're not going to show our thought process like we did. You know, we're just going to go straight to answer. Okay. So first term, if this is our question, this is our answer. The first term should be of the form a squared. So we're going to take that 5x and square it. 5x times 5x will give us 25x squared. Minus. The middle term is of the form 2ab. For the purpose of mental math, we are always going to find the product of a and b and then double it up or multiply it by 2. Product of 5x and 1 is 5x. 5x times 2 will give us 10x. Always positive, b squared. So we're going to take that 1 and square it. I'm a genius. You know, square of 1 is 1. Cool. So we quickly squared the 5x minus 1. Let's go ahead, bring down the rest of the problem. There's no like terms to combine because we just went straight to answer. So now at this point, I'm just going to copy, okay? But I'll still speak to you because I like you, all right? So again, we're not going to FOIL it out because FOIL is a nice way to guide us in the multiplication process when we have 2 binomials, okay? How do we distribute a 3-term expression or a trinomial? Same speech, 1 term at a time, okay? So this one is going to go a little bit faster because I'm copying my work. When we distribute the 25x squared, that will give us 125x cubed. Next product will give us minus 25x squared. Round 2, let's distribute the negative 10x. So first product will give us negative 50x squared. Second product will give us positive 10x. Round 3, let's go ahead, distribute the 1, and that will give us a 5x minus 1. So bear in mind, it is the same problem, okay? So if it's the same problem, no matter how we do it, we should get the same exact answer. Let's go ahead, combine like terms. We only have 1 degree 3 term. The sum of the squares will give us a negative 75x squared. The sum of the x's will give us 15x, and we only have one constant term. So on the test, handle it however you like. Okay, you can either expand it from the start, or you can make groups of 2 and quickly square the binomials. Okay, so we're doing a total of 5 problems. This is our first problem, and I'm on the fence if I should do them more than once. Okay, the teacher in me says let's do them more than once, like shortcut way, not shortcut way. The student says no, do it once so we can leave early. Okay, but sometimes leaving early sounds like a good idea, but I don't want you to come to the test and be like, oh shoot, because we don't say bad words. Dog breath, as my office mate says, you know, dog breath. We should have done it the other way. Okay, so you'll thank me later. Okay, so remember, pause and rewind as many times as needed. If you're tired and if you're watching this on YouTube, hey, take a break. Turn off your computer, do what you gotta do, and then when you come back to YouTube, YouTube would it's gonna pick up the video wherever you left off. Okay, so problem B, we have a not cube, x plus 3 raised to the 4th power. Okay, this one we're not gonna do twice because no, I love myself. Okay, so one way to go about it, we can do it along the way that we did problem A. Write it without the exponent of 4, so that means we'll write 4 factors of the base. So x plus 3 times x plus 3 recycled 4 times. I don't have time for that because I know that you and FOIL, like, you're best friends. You can do that. So I want to give you a different way. So we don't have a multiplication shortcut for a power of 4, but we can quickly square binomials. So once again, we're going to write this as groups of 2. Okay, so we have x plus 3 raised to the 2nd power. That gives us 2 factors of the base. We need 2 more. Okay, so let's go ahead and multiply it by 2 more factors of the base. So we got 2x plus 3s times 2 more x plus 3s. You got it. We got 4x plus 3s. So let me go ahead and remind myself of this multiplication shortcut. So if we're squaring a binomial of the form a plus b, if this is your question, then this is your answer. A squared, 2ab, b squared. For the signs, same, always positive. So let me go ahead and highlight this. Alright, so let's do this. I'm going to identify a and b. So a is whatever we see before the operation, namely x. B is whatever we see after the operation, namely b. I got you. Let's do this. The first term in our answer is of the form a squared. So we're going to take that a and square it. X times x will give us x squared. Plus, middle term is of the form 2ab, but the speech, find the product of a and b and then double it up or multiply it by 2. Product of x and 3 is 3x. 3x times 2 gives us 6x. Always positive, b squared. The square of 3, that will give you 9. So what are we gonna do next? Same thing, but I'm not gonna like rack my brain. I'll copy it. Square of x plus 3, we did it once. Let's take advantage. Okay, same speech. X squared plus 6x plus 9. So I was like, oh, I'm so proud of us. I'm tapping my, ¿cómo se dice? I'm tapping my shoulder. Okay, so we're not gonna FOIL it out. Remember, FOIL is a nice way to guide us in the multiplication process for 2 binomials, but we don't have 2 binomials. We got 2 trinomials. Okay, so how am I gonna distribute the trinomial? Same speech. We're gonna have 3 terms, so 3 rounds. Round what? Round 1. Round 1, what do we get when we distribute the x squared? Round 2, what do we get when we distribute the 6x? Round 3, what do we get when we distribute the 9? So let's go ahead, earn our full credit and ace this test. So round 1, I got you. X squared times the first thing that we see will give us x to the 4th. X squared times the next thing that we see will give us 6x cubed. X squared times the final term that we see will give us 9x squared. So again, remember, pause and rewind as many times as needed. Round 2, what do we get when we distribute the 6x? 6x times x squared will give us 6x cubed, and you have options. Continue to write across or line it up. I choose to line it up. 6x times the next term that we see, namely another 6x, will give us 36x squared. Okay, final product, 6x times 9 will give us, where am I, 54x. Okay, I think I'm going to bust out a calculator soon because I don't want to have a mistake and do this video again. Okay, final round. Round 3, what do we get when we distribute the 9? Okay, 9 times x squared is just 9 times x squared. Go ahead, line it up. Keep it going. 9 times the next term that we see will give us 54x. 9 times the final term in that round will give us 81. Okay, so if you choose to line up terms, and you have terms lined up, then let's go ahead and do this. We only have 1 degree 4 term. The sum of the degree 3 terms of the x cubes will give us 12x cubed. The sum of the x squared, 36 plus 9, that's a 45, 54. Okay, I hope it's right. If not, email me. Okay, the sum of the x's will give us 108. Well, 108x, and there's only one constant term. Okay, so that's it. This is our answer. If we were able to simplify more or combine more, then they would have been lined up. Okay, so we're doing 5 problems. That's number 2. Let's go ahead and look at spicy problem number 3. Okay, or problem C. I'm debating if I should do this twice. Alright, problem C. We have square of this beautiful thing. 2m minus 3n plus 6. Well, square of 2m minus the sum of 3n and 6. And that's it. Okay, so this problem we're gonna do twice. The keep your cool way, meaning like there's no shortcuts involved, and then the second time around with the shortcut involved. I'm having a moment. It's okay, I'll do it the keep your cool way, so like no shortcut involved. So before I look at this outside exponent of 2, we're gonna go ahead and look at the inside. Okay, so we're not really squaring a binomial, so there's no multiplication shortcut if we look at it at a first glance. So let's go ahead and look at the inside. So first grouping symbol that we see at the innermost set is the parentheses. 3 and 6 are not like terms, so let's go ahead take care of the subtraction sign at the opposite. So opposite of a positive term is a negative term. Opposite of a positive term is a negative term. Cool, so that's cleaned up. We have no like terms, so that's it. It's like, oh, can we take that multiplication shortcut? Can we square a binomial? If we could, yeah, but we have 3 terms, not 2 terms, so there's no multiplication shortcut. How are we going to handle it? Well, we're just going to rewrite it without the exponent of 2. Okay, so we're going to write 2 factors of this base. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead switch it to parentheses. Sorry, I need a drink of water because I love my job. So we have 2m minus 3n minus 6. Exponent is 2. So now that I have this written in a way that I feel more comfortable with, we're just gonna attack it like we did from the very first video. Okay, to distribute a trinomial, we're gonna distribute one term at a time. Round 1, what do we get when we distribute the 2m? So let's do this. 2m times 2m will give us 4m squared. 2m times negative 3n will give us negative 6mn. 2m times negative 6 will give us negative 12m. Okay, so round 1 complete. Round 2, what do we get when we distribute the negative 3n? Negative 3n times 2m will give us negative 6, alphabetical order, negative 6mn. Line it up. Negative 6mn. Next product in that round. Negative 3n times another negative 3n will give us positive 9n squared. There's no n squared term, so make it up. Okay, final product in that round. Negative 3n times negative 6 will give us negative 18n. Fantastic. So 2 rounds down, 1 more to go. Round 3, what do we get when we distribute negative 6? Negative 6 times 2m will give us negative 12m. Do we have an m column? Yeah. It will give us negative 12m. Negative 6 times the next term will give us 18n. We don't have an n. Oh yeah, we do. We do have an n column. Okay. Negative 6 times negative 6 will give us positive 36. Okay. I'm having a moment. Let me check my signs. This one comes from this. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm glad you caught me. All right. So when we distributed the negative 3n, negative 3n times negative 6 will give us positive 18n. And I didn't write that correctly. My apologies. But thank you for catching that. Remind me to give you extra credit. All right. So again, same speech. If you were lining up the terms as you multiplied along, and then I guess we would scratch that. If you were lining up the terms as you were finding the products, and if you lined up some terms, that means that you can simplify the expression. Okay, I need to breathe. All right. So we only have one m squared term. The sum of the mn's will give us negative 12mn. Okay, negative 6 minus 6, negative 12. The sum of the m's will give us negative 24m. There's only one n squared term. Bring it down. The sum of the 18n's will give us 36. Sorry, that's how I add under pressure. And there's only one constant term. And then same speech. Can we keep combining? We cannot, because if we could, then we would have lined it up. Okay, so we're gonna do this problem one more time. Okay, problem C. We have 2m minus 3m plus 6. I think this is gonna be the last problem that we do twice, okay? Because I feel like you could do it to keep your cool with like no shortcut, okay? So for length, we're gonna do this problem, of course, with the shortcut way, and then the final two, namely D and E, will also do the shortcut way, and then you can do it the regular way, you know, outside, okay? Now, at a first glance, I'm like, why do they have parentheses here? It's not like these are like terms. It's not like we could distribute a number, okay? The reason why they have parentheses around the 3m plus 6 is because they're trying to like guide you. They're like, look, if you group these two terms, you could take a shortcut, okay? So we're gonna see this kind of like a binomial like expression, okay? So this term that we see before the minus sign, we're going to call that A. This expression that we see after the minus sign, we're going to call that B. Let's bring down that operation, minus. So we have something that looks like A minus B. So although this is not a binomial, binomial means we have two terms. Although this is not a binomial, I'm going to use my made up math words. If we chunk the 3m plus 6 like a single term, like if you view it like if it was a single term, we can see this like a binomial like expression, okay? So let's go ahead and bring down the rest of the problem. We're going to replace the brackets with parentheses, and then we're squaring it, okay? Let's go ahead and remind ourselves of the multiplication shortcut. If this is our question, then what will be our answer? A squared, 2ab, b squared. For the signs, same, always positive. Okay, so let's do this. So again, A is whatever you see before the operation, namely 2m. B is whatever you see after the operation. So it's going to be 3m plus 6. Let's plug and chug. So the first term in our answer should be of the form a squared. So we're going to take that 2m and square it. 2m times 2m will give us 4m squared. Minus 2ab. So again, for the purpose of mental math, let's find the product of a and b and then double it up. Product of a and b, 2m times 3m plus 6. I'm not going to distribute it in my head, so we're just going to leave it as a times b. We're going to leave it as 2m times 3m plus 6. Okay, so again, that comes from a times b. 2m is like our a, and 3m plus 6 is like our b. So we have minus 2ab. So we're going to find the product of a and b and then double it up. Okay, so let me go ahead and put my times 2. Always positive, b squared. So let's go ahead square what we called b, okay, which is this addition problem. So that's pretty much our answer. We just have to clean it up, okay? So we have 4m squared. To save time, I'm gonna go ahead group these two. Product of 2 and 2m will give us 4m. Let me go ahead bring up the negative sign, okay? Actually, no, I think this looks weird, okay? So let's go ahead distribute the negative 4m. Negative 4m, and the reason why it's negative because of the minus, okay? Negative 4m times 3n will give us negative 12mn. Negative 4m, I think I need my finger on this negative. I have a feeling like I'm going to forget. Negative 4m times 6 will give us negative 24m. Cool? So now let's go ahead quickly square this binomial. So let's go ahead write down the multiplication shortcut. Similar to this one. Okay. So if we are squaring a binomial of the form a plus b, if this is your question, then this is your answer. Square of a plus b, sorry, if this is your question, this is our answer. A squared 2ab b squared. Yeah, I amuse myself. That's what happens when I don't have a live audience, okay? For the signs, same, always positive. Alright, so let's do this. So remember, A is whatever you see before the operation. B is whatever you see after the operation. So let me see if I can zoom in. So this is our question, this is our answer. Let's do this problem so we can almost leave. The first term is of the form a squared. So we're going to take that 3n and square it. 3n times 3n will give us 9n squared. So plus 9n squared. Middle term is of the form 2ab. So again, same speech. I feel like a broken record. Let's find the product of a and b and then double it up or multiply it by 2. 3n times 6 will give us 18n. 18n times 2 will give us 36n. Sorry, I had a moment. Always positive, b squared, and the square of 6 will give us 36. Okay, so I think we're good. I don't think there's terms to combine. So m squared, no other m squared. Mn, no other mn. Regular m, nope. N squared, I'll say it in Spanish, no. N, I'll say it in English, no. Okay, 36, that's the only constant term. So that's it. Okay, so for this unit, you know, of course I always just show all work, but for this unit, you may be able to go to answer, well, not this one in particular, or you may just show a little bit of steps. Okay, so how much work do I need to see? Actually, you're gonna let me know. Depending on what you write, I will know if you were doing it the shortcut way or if you're gonna do it the keep your cool way. Okay, let me see if I can zoom out. Okay, that's it. Okay, cool. So again, it doesn't really matter. Okay, some student says, oh no, Mr. I'm gonna do it like you. It's faster. Faster speed is relative to each person. If you feel comfortable, if you get it, then it is a shortcut for you, so you'll do it quickly. But if you didn't give yourself the time to practice, then you're not gonna get it. And if you don't get it, and if you don't get the shortcut, then do it the old school way. This will be your fast way. Okay, so let's go ahead and do 2 more problems. I was gonna originally do them twice, but no, we have no time for that. Okay, we'll do it once, and then you get the shortcut way, and then you can do it again how we did problem C and the other problems, the save yourself way. Okay, problem D, where am I? Okay, so we have a open bracket, x squared plus open parenthesis 5x minus 3y close parenthesis close bracket open bracket x squared minus 5x minus 3y, and I think I failed to say some of those open grouping symbols. Okay, so I'm gonna just say some things, but I'm not gonna execute. One way to go about it is to get rid of the parentheses that are within the brackets. So in this case, the plus sign, you can just drop down the terms. The minus sign, you add the opposite, and then you'll have 3 terms times 3 terms. Do what you got to do. But there is a reason why your book has parentheses around these terms. Okay, let's go ahead and break it down. We got an x squared in the first expression. We got an x squared in the second expression. We got a 5x minus 3y here. Look at that, 5x minus 3y here. That's pretty sneaky. Okay, let's go ahead and call these a and b. So the x squared, we're going to call a. So we have another x squared, so we have another a. This subtraction problem, 5x minus 3y, let's go ahead and call it b. Same subtraction problem, so same b. Let's go ahead and bring down the operations or the signs. You got a plus sign, you got a minus sign. Let's go ahead and bring down the grouping symbols. You can write down brackets, I'll put parentheses because we don't have a grouping symbol inside. Grouping symbol. A plus b times a minus b. That kind of sounds familiar. Okay, so from an earlier video, we had said product of conjugates always simplifies to difference of squares. I'm not sure how much space I have. Okay, product of conjugates always simplifies to a difference of squares. So if this is your question, this is your answer. Difference of squares, a squared minus b squared. Okay, so although we don't have conjugates, because again conjugates are binomial expressions that differ in a sign. We have binomial-like expressions if we, again, my made-up math words, we have a binomial-like expression if we chunk this 5x minus 3y like if it was a single term. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. If this is our question, this is our answer. A squared minus b squared. So let's go ahead and take that a. Okay, so before the operation, we see an x squared. That's our a. So a squared. We take x squared and square it. X squared times x squared will give us x to the 4th. Product of conjugates always simplifies to a difference of squares. So minus b squared. So we're going to take that b, which is whatever we see after the operation. Okay, we're going to take that b, which is, where am I? 5x minus 3y, and square it. Okay, a squared minus b squared. So let's do this. So let's go ahead and quickly square this binomial, and then we'll bring down the rest of the problem. So we have x to the 4th minus whatever the square of 5x minus 3y is. I'm going to take advantage that we wrote the formula. Okay, so if this is our question, this is our answer. Square of a minus b gives us a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So let's do this. So we're going to take a, which is the term before the operation, and then we take b. Okay, so a squared, so 5x times 5x will give us 25x squared. Same sign. Minus 2ab. So let's find the product of a and b and then double it up. Product of a and b, namely, cover up that minus sign. Product of a and b, namely 5x and 3y, will give us 15xy. 15xy times 2 will give us 30xy. Always positive, b squared. So we're going to take that b and square it. 3y times 3y will give us 9y squared. Unfortunately, we are not done because we got to take care of this minus sign. So someone said, how come we didn't distribute right now? Well, we couldn't, because of the exponent. Remember, order of operations, grouping symbols, exponents, multiplication, division. So you got to take care of the exponent before you do anything else. Okay? So let's go ahead and add the opposite. So opposite of a positive term, negative term. Opposite of a negative term, positive term. Opposite of a positive term, negative term. And if my eyes don't fail me, none of these are like terms, so we should be good. Again, do you have to do it like this? No, do it how we did problem C the first time around. Get rid of the grouping symbols inside the bracket. Then you can see 3 terms times 3 terms and then knock it out. I don't really care how you do it on the test. Just do it. Nike should give me money. All right. Problem E, last problem, I promised. Okay, so we have open bracket, we got a open parenthesis, 2x plus 3, close to grouping symbol, minus 4y, close to other grouping symbol. And then we have another open bracket, another open parenthesis, 2x plus 3, close parenthesis, minus 4y, close bracket. So remember, pause and rewind as many times as needed. So I'm going to give you a verbal semi-solution, and then I'll do it with the shortcut way. So option 1, get rid of the inside grouping symbols, and then you have 3 terms times 3 terms. You do it. Cool. But again, I know you can do it like that because we've already attacked it from this video and earlier other videos. Now, there is a reason why the book wraps up these 2 terms. They want to say, hey, psst, psst, if you group these 2 together, and if you keep her cool, you can take a shortcut. Okay. We have some addition problem. Oh, it's the same. We got a 4y, another 4y. Okay, I think I wrote this problem wrong. Yeah, okay. We're gonna go ahead change this to plus. Okay, so I don't want to stop this video to check. Alright, so make sure you update that on your notes. Okay, so let's do this. So from the beginning, we got an addition problem, recycled. A 4y, recycled. So let's go ahead, those things that are recycled, let's go ahead label them A and B. Okay, addition problem, that's the first thing that we see, we're going to call that A. 4y, let's go ahead, that's the second thing that we see, we're going to call that B. Let's bring down those operations. We got a minus sign and we got a plus sign. Let's go ahead, wrap up these 2 terms. Okay, so we're going to put parentheses. If you want to keep the bracket, go for it. So we got A minus B times A plus B. Okay, we have a special relationship. So once again, we have product of conjugates. Conjugate of A minus B, copy, opposite. Okay, so product of conjugates will always simplify to a difference of squares. Okay, so if this is our question, then this is our answer. So let's do this. A squared. So we're going to take that A. Where am I? We're going to take that A and square it. 2x plus 3 times 2x plus 3, it's just going to be 2x plus 3 squared. Minus, product of conjugates always simplifies to a difference of squares. Minus A squared minus B squared. So minus B squared. We're going to take that second term, the one that follows the operation, and square it. So A squared minus B squared. So we're going to take that second term and square it. Square of 4y. You know what? I don't even know. I think it's 16y squared. Okay, so I'm having a moment. So it's okay. I'll simplify it later. Okay. So now we're left with square of 2x plus 3 and the square of 4y. So let's do this. So I think I wrote this formula somewhere. Okay, let me zoom out. Okay. So let's go ahead square this 2x plus 3. So if this is our question, this is our answer. Our first term should be of the form a squared. So we're going to take that a squared. Let me identify a and b. So again, to recap, a and b is whatever you see before and after the operation. So the first term, when we square the a plus b, when we square the binomial of the form a plus b, should give us a squared. So 2x times 2x will give us 4x squared plus. Middle term should be of the form 2ab. So same speech. We're going to find the product of a and b and double it up. Product of 2x and 3 will give us 6x. 6x times 2 will give us 12x. Always positive, b squared. So the square of 3 will give us 9. Minus square of 4y. 4y times 4y will give us 16y squared. Cool. We took care of our products. None of these are like terms, so we're good. I have some crickets in the background. I'm not sure if they're going to make a presentation. Okay, guys, that's my time. We are done with the multiplication unit. Up next, we had added, subtracted, multiplied. The final operation is division. So stay tuned. Gracias. That means thanks.